Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Cody and I back with another Halloween movie review. This is Halloween H20. Yes, the 7th installment in the series. This would feature the return of Jamie Lee Curtis back to the Halloween franchise, reprising her role as Laurie Strode. This was 20 years after the first movie. So with H2O, we're ignoring the events of 4 through 6. They tried to include the events of 4 through 6, but when it came down to the final script, they just said, fuck it, we're just going to make this a direct sequel to Halloween 2 of 1981. However, the continuity wasn't that good because Michael didn't have any burn marks on his skin, and yeah, so Halloween H2O, I first saw this movie when I was in my teens, I was like 14 when I first watched this movie.
You know what's funny?
What?
That's the first time I've seen this movie. I'm not even kidding.
I've seen each Halloween movie countless times except for the Rob Zombie movies. I've only seen them once.
I think when the Rob Zombie finally came out on DVD, my mom went off and rented it. She's like, oh, it's a Halloween movie. I was like, oh, is it? And then I started watching it, and I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah.
And this has nothing to do with the original storyline.
Right.
I was like, fuck this.
Let's not get into Rob Zombie movies. I'll get mad. But anyways, so this takes place 20 years after the events of Halloween 1 and 2. Laurie Strode faked her death in a car accident, and she moved to California and became the head mistress of a private school in California. Michael Myers, who the fuck knows where he's been for the last 20 years.
Hiding in a mine shaft.
Or somewhere. But he breaks into the house of Marion Chambers, who was the nurse from Halloween 1 and 2. She was the nurse of Dr. Sam Loomis, and who's dead now, as you guys know. And he breaks into her office, and he uncovers Laurie Strode's file, which explains what happened to her, where she's living at now. And he kills Nurse Winnington, Nurse Chambers, Mary Winnington, same person. Kills her, and he proceeds to go to California to track down Laurie Strode. And Laurie, she's been a mess. Her life's been a mess the last 20 years. She's been traumatized, dealing with PTSD. She's been an alcoholic, heavily medicated. She tried everything to move on from those horrific events in 1978, but she hasn't been able to. She's got a son by the name of John, who's 17 at this current time, and so shit's about to hit the fan when Michael returns. Well, not return, but to track her down.
He's come back to finish the job.
Yes, because Laurie's the one who got away. But
let's kind of go into Michael as a character. You guys kind of have the story of kind of what he's doing back, hunting down Laurie back again. Now let's go into Michael. I hate him. In this movie, I hate him.
Yeah.
What kind of gave it away at first was him. He was at a pit stop, and this mother and daughter went into the men's bathroom to use the bathroom because the woman's was locked. Well, what gave it away was when he went down to reach down to grab the woman's purse to get her keys. He did it as a casual man would. If I was gonna be playing as Michael, grabbing her purse, or just another man who's my car's wrecked, and I'm running from the cops. He kind of casually grabbed it, not like how Michael would. He did it like a casual person would. Like if you can kind of understand like what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely not very Michael Myers-esque.
Yeah, and then like later on, it was when he did his first kill, you like see into his mask, which you're not supposed to at all.
Nope.
Not at all. That was like another moment because you like see into his eyes and you see the reflection off of his eyes of like what he's looking at, and I was like, whoa, I don't want to see that. I just want to see that dark hole, you know, like as if he's staring through my soul.
Right. It's supposed to be the devil's eyes, the blackest eyes, you know, that whole narrative. And
in this movie, it's like you didn't even have that.
Yeah, you saw his eyes and shit like that. Hell, his eyes were supposed to be shot out.
There's another scene, like the teenagers were like stuck in between a door and like a gate, and like he was aggressively trying to get through. Like even like how he walked, it was like not of that of Michael.
Yeah.
He was like emotionless. Nothing goes on through his head. It's like he runs a blank and he's just going off of pure instinct. But with this, it's like he was like an actual person. Like he actually had characteristics. He actually had feelings, emotion. He could be hurt. It's kind of like what was going on in this movie. And like even when he got hit in the face with a rock, it's like he didn't just go back. He like took the full force and he like whipped himself back around like he was angry. Like Michael doesn't do that. He gets hit, he gets knocked down, and you know what? He pulls the Undertaker type of bullshit and he gets right back up. He doesn't whip his fucking ass around like he's pissed. That kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, I mean, this was the weakest portrayal of Michael Myers in a Halloween film, in my opinion. And here's the thing, I really like H20, I do. But Michael Myers as a character, they really dropped the ball on this one. They really did.
Like, if you're gonna have somebody play as Michael Myers, you need to have him at least watch the first and second movie. Maybe some of the other ones too, like 4 and 6. I hate 5. But have them watch those movies. Not just like watch the movies, but pay attention to like Michael's characteristics. H20 I would not recommend for somebody to like, okay, I want you to play as Michael. And I want you to watch this movie and I want you to watch Michael and how he acts. Like I would not put this in that category.
Yeah, definitely not a good portrayal of Michael Myers. But that's the only really glaring problem I have with this movie. Everything else is fine, you know. Side characters are interesting. You know, we had L. Cool J as Ronnie. He was entertaining. You had Adam Arkin, who was Laurie's boyfriend and whatnot, and he was an interesting character.
He was.
Then you had Josh Hartnett, who played Laurie's son, John, and then you had his friends, which were some horny bastards.
They were kind of worse than me.
Yeah, pretty much a roaming orgy.
I don't even think I'd have an orgy with anybody besides myself and a partner. It has to be a female. I'm not gay.
Sure.
I'm gonna stab you. I am sure.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, and then Laurie, you know, she turns around and says, you know what, I'm gonna stop running. I'm gonna fucking take this to the death, you know, I'm gonna fight it out with Michael until the end. And that's what she did, you know, she went after him and she became the hunter going after the hunted, which would be Michael Myers. And she stabs him multiple times, and then it seems, you know, that she's got the one up on Michael. And then once they're loading him up into the van, she's like, nope, I'm not fucking done yet. She has the axe and a gun. She takes the van, and then Michael's in the back seat, and of course he wakes up and he gets out of the body bag, and then he's sent crashing through the windshield. He gets up, sits up, and then she tries to run him over, but he hangs on, and then the van goes off the fucking cliff, trapped by the van. So he's prone to, you know, whatever she can do to him. And they have a brief moment of, you know, compassion for being brother and sister, but then
And sympathy.
that shit quickly dissipates as she chops off his fucking head. So that's the end of Michael Myers.
Or that's
So we're led to believe.
I mean, like at that scene, he does like he like feels around for his head. He's like, oh, what the fuck? Where am I? Type of shit. Kind of like reaches out to her to chops head off. I think it was like a good clean chop. I want to say, because that bitch came right off.
Oh yeah. And that was the intention of H2O, was to fucking end it, But of course,
In the contract, we can't kill Michael.
right?
Or they can't kill Michael. I
Yeah.
can. He can. We
Yes.
can.
Yes. Yeah. No one knows about that clause. I mean, that was something we worked out a long time ago. So when I made my Halloween movie, Michael Myers may or may not survive. So.
And I may or may not kill him.
Right. But in all seriousness, though, Jamie Lee Curtis, she wanted to do this movie with the sole purpose to end the franchise. But there's a clause in the contract with Mustafa Akkad, who executive produced all the Halloween movies up until his death. There's a clause in the contract that states they cannot kill Michael Myers. So, of course, they had to reverse this for Resurrection, which will be our last review until the new movie that comes out on the 19th. So in Resurrection, they explain that it wasn't Michael that she killed, but we'll get into that with our Resurrection review. But yeah, H2O. I mean, I thought it was really good. I mean, it wasn't amazing. It definitely did not match Carpenter's original by any standards. But what did you think?
H2O was pretty good. Had a nice little, I won't say theme to it, but kind of threw me off though. Kind of like at the beginning, like what the fuck?
What threw you off?
Mike with the doctor. At first, it kind of threw me off, but then like
the nurse.
I kind of quickly picked up because when she walked into the house, she saw her office all clusterfuck, kind of like my head. But when she saw her office all clusterfuck, and then saw that Laurie Strode's paperwork is the only thing that was left on her desk and kind of empty, I was like, okay, he's tracking down Laurie. Oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
Other than that, I would say it's a decent movie. And
What rating would you give it?
Rating, I would give it a 6. That's because of Michael.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Michael kind of bombed it. I honestly would, if I was to film, produce, or even direct a Halloween movie, that actor would not be in my list of people to ask to play as Michael.
Chris Duran.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just did not fit the bill for Michael Myers, in my opinion. Because here's the thing: you had Nick Castle, who first played Michael Myers. Dick Warlock played him in Halloween 2. And then you had George P. Wilbur, who played him in 4 and 6. And then you had Don Shanks playing him in 5. I would say Don Shanks played him not so good in 5, but I think he was better than Chris Duran at least. But yeah, my personal rating would be to give this movie an 8. It's my third favorite in the series, but at the same time, Michael Myers is the big problem with this movie, and that's the reason why it's not higher on my list when I rank these films. But yeah, I really like H2O. It's my third favorite movie in the series. But yeah, that probably will change once the new movie comes out. So
It all depends on this new movie.
yeah, get your fingers crossed for that, ladies and gentlemen. So Marcel gives it a 6. I give it an 8. But yeah, it was a pretty good movie in my opinion. And then you and I got one more movie to do. Oh, what was your favorite kill, by the way?
Oh, my favorite kill? Well, there wasn't that many deaths. There was 3 at the beginning. The one kid and his girlfriend. I think that was about it for everybody who died in this movie. There were like 5 people who died, and normally most of the people you see who get a lot of camera time, you see them die.
Yeah.
But I would say my favorite would have to be Charlie. Like like you're expecting like Michael. You see Michael in the doorway as he's like reaching his hand down the fucking garbage disposal in the scene.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there thinking like, no, please, no, Michael's gonna flip that switch. His fucking arm's gonna get destroyed. Like that garbage disposal is gonna eat his arm up. But no, you got me right there. And then it gets to the scene like it's like up close into Michael's eye, and then I guess Michael cuts his throat. I would say that was my favorite.
So an off-screen death. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I would say my favorite kill was when he kills Laurie's boyfriend. He stabs him right in the chest and then lifts him up into the air.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
And he's like shaking and shit. I mean, that just, to me,
He had a seizure.
like, I mean, to me, like that was the most. I mean, that kind of just brought the old kind of Michael Myers vibe. Like, okay, I'm gonna remind you why I'm so fucking dangerous,
And he kind of like lifts him up too with the knife.
Yes, and then you just see the terror in Laurie's eyes, like, fuck,
No, that was my only piece of dick.
But what'd you make of Laurie's son, or his character, played by Josh Hartnett?
He reminded me of Laurie.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. He was an asshole.
I know, yeah, he wasn't a little asshole, was he?
No, Laurie's character, like, when she was a teenager, all nice and sweet, innocent, and he was just, to me, he was the opposite.
Yeah, he was kind of a spoiled little fucking asshole,
I want to do what I want to do. If I want to lose my virginity right now, I'm gonna do it, Mom. I'm gonna go to Yosemite's so I can fuck my girlfriend and fuck around with my best friend and his girl.
Like after roaming orgies,
Yeah.
like I told you, like they're gonna fuck each other's girlfriends and then they're gonna swap and then they're gonna fuck each other. So it'd be like a gay or bisexual gay orgy fuck.
It's like a circle. It's like a circle of fucking. It's like, I kind of understand what you're saying, but then it's like I'm trying to picture it in my head, and my mind's just going to different places, and I'm now thinking of things I don't want to be thinking of. Okay, I'm moving on.
He's sexually confused, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sexually confused right now.
All right, now we're getting way off subject. So
Not even close. Let's continue on.
So that's a review of Halloween H20. We have one more review to do, and that's Halloween Resurrection.
When I come back to life. Just kidding.
So yeah, that'll be our last review until the new Halloween comes out on October the 19th in the theaters.
Yep.
Yes, we're eagerly anticipating the release of that movie. Marcel, tell the fine folks where they can follow you on social media.
You can follow me on Facebook at Cujo Gaming 68. That is my page. I will be on there uploading, posting random stuff about what I'm doing with my life and about other topics I'll hopefully be talking about or gaming. I gotta get back on the grind. You can follow me on Twitter at Master_Cujo. Same thing there. I'll throw some tweets. You guys can connect with me. Tweet back. Share some stupid shit with me on Twitter, because it's Twitter. Who gives a fuck? And Instagram, you can follow me at MasterCujo68. I'll be on there posting pictures of myself, probably my cats, and maybe some workouts.
And you can follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/SpringerBrand, Twitter at SpringerBrand, Instagram SpringerBrand IG. And up next will be our review of Halloween Resurrection. And until then, we will see you guys later.
Peace.
Peace out.